Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to another highly illogical podcast. And today I am being joined by Zamo, Steve Harry Harris from Harris Films Productions, and Alexander from Lacard's GFX.
L-Cars.
Sorry,
Oh my
L-Cars.
goodness me.
So anyway, this week we are talking apparently what departments. I literally the sentence before we started this podcast, Harry's like, hey, it really should be departments, not divisions, and I'm literally hitting go live. I'm like,
sorry,
thanks for that. So anyway, we're talking about what divisions or departments you would be in if you were in Starfleet, and we're going to give other people that we know, like that we are all kind of familiar with. Well, not all of us, but like some of us are familiar with some positions. And I think if we have time, I think we should form out of people we know our own command crews. So, yeah. So I figured we would kind of, spring this on you guys just to kind of, go with your gut. Your gut. So, anyway, I'd be an admiral, and all of you would be ensign. So that's it. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
At least my last name's not Kim.
Right? Although you haven't seen the
Lower Decks
trailer. All right.
I actually haven't seen that yet.
There's a funny bit in there about that. So,
right.
Of course there is, because, it's Harry Kim.
It has to be.
Yeah, it's got to be. All right. Well, so I guess I'll start. Just in general, like we'll just start in general. Like what position? What division?
We have the list of the positions as well.
Sure. I guess. Command, operations. Navigation or con. I'm now losing them. Security, engineering. Medical, science. Am I missing any?
Tactical.
I don't know.
Would tactical and security be? I know it's different, but like tactical is.
Yeah, they generally get mushed together.
Yeah, because Worf and Tuvok were always on tactical, but yet they were always also the security chief. So I would kind of.
But then Worf was the chief tactical officer on DS9 when he.
Right.
He wasn't security chief; he was chief tactical officer.
Okay, well, maybe that was something. Maybe that was something during wartime.
I think. So. I think depending on the posting, they can be separated or they can be mushed together.
Right.
Yeah. But sometimes you need to have more than.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Sometimes you need to have maybe more than one string to your bow, if you know what I mean. Like Geordie LaForge started off as a pilot and then ended up being an engineer. You can do. You have to. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone to a degree is a pilot of some sort. They can navigate a ship. If you work on a Starfleet vessel,
well,
not that I've never really come across a character who wasn't capable of doing that. Even Beverly Crusher's done it, for fuck's sake. Pardon my French. So I think everybody at some point has got some capabilities of doing one thing, but are more capable of doing other things better. If you know what I mean.
And there's specialities, and then there's like I don't know what the term is. I know they have a term for it, but it's like it's basically gen eds of Starfleet. Like you
right.
take
you've got the basics.
Yeah, like the basics, which is like
everybody will have a basic pilot training, for example.
Yeah, like you're not the best pilot in the galaxy, but you can still steer a starship if you're the last person on board. Or you can just tell the computer, heading 9 Mark 3.278 Mark 7.
They use this. Beverly is especially in that episode. Remember Me, basically tells the computer to fly the ship. So if it can do it there, why can't it do it all the time?
Well, I think it's mostly because of like
they need to have a body there.
Yeah, and you need to pay actors, otherwise it'd be a boring show. So,
I mean, I just to add, like I remember that one episode of DS9 where Bashir's crashed on this planet, and he's the one repairing the shuttle pod because there's nobody else to do it. It's got to be him.
But I mean, they get that basic engineering class. I mean,
yeah,
and he's also
Starfleet training. Yeah,
And we also find later on, he's genetically modified. So he's
of course,
yeah. But they didn't. When they were doing that episode, I don't know if they knew that. So,
and let's not forget Dr. McCoy helping Spock, splice up a torpedo so it could, in Star Trek 6, like why did he need the Doctor to do that of all people?
Extra pair of hands.
And in Generations, God damn it, why was his name? Why am I forgetting his name? No,
Scotty or Chekhov?
The Russian Chekhov.
Chekhov.
Yeah, he did medical training. He was the one who.
Well, and there's a reason for that in that movie. It's
I know, but still, regardless.
Like I said, what gets a little confusing is that there are departments and then there's divisions, and I think specifically you wanted to know what division everybody's in. Departments are command, operations, and that kind of a thing. Within operations, you have security, communications, and that kind of stuff. So it gets confusing, and I'm not going to parse words on whether it's department or division, but specifically what job would you like to have, or what do you think you'd have in Starfleet? So that's really the question you're asking, right?
Yeah,
so
like
you
basically
would be the admiral and you're going to run the whole fleet.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I was more talking about on a ship. I was joking about the admiral making you guys all the ensigns, but so I think that on a starship, I would probably want to be operations for myself. Like I think I would want to be an operations manager. Maybe become a first officer, after that, but because I feel like an operations major in Starfleet is, I'm using our normal terms for these things, but like an operations speciality would probably bode well for a first officer, just because of the ship inside and out,
right?
So so if I got a chance to get promoted from like lieutenant commander to commander and to become first officer, not that every commander is a first officer, but I'm just saying, like, if that were kind of what happened, I would probably lean towards, operations, for my Starfleet career. Alex, what do you think you would do?
I wonder. Yeah.
But okay, so let's be honest with ourselves here.
I look good in red.
But do you feel like you would make a good commanding officer? Like,
probably not, but I made a kick-ass first officer in a club that I was part of for a while. I basically ran the place, and the other guy took all the credit, but I was the one that actually made it work. I was the one that got the membership up and made sure that they were happy and stuff like that. So I actually have a little bit of real-world experience of doing that kind of thing. Obviously not on a ship.
Yeah.
I also played play-by-email RPG for a long time. Which is why I always carry the commander rank, because that's what my character got to, and he was the first officer on the ship, and I was kind of responsible for the members in that RPG as well. But never wanted to get the fourth pip, because that required being in the command staff chat, and that was just a hot mess. So, no. I was there to play, and first officer allowed me just to play. So I just stuck with that, and also I look better in red. I've tried the yellow, I've tried the blue, not for me.
We could step back about 80 years and become engineer on TOS.
Oh yeah, then I'll have to be a red shirt, so my life expectancy wouldn't be very long.
Yeah, well, you got.
First officer would be fine. Even second officer, you can still be in red for that.
So you'd definitely be in command. So
definitely in the command division. Yeah.
Okay. Steve, where do you think you would fall? Where would you want to fall?
Well, that's a loaded question. I served in the military and the Navy for like 20 years, and I was in operations. So I guess that's where I'd be. Like you said, it's sort of a command track situation. And at this point, I'm leading Harris Film Productions, so I guess I'm the captain. I play a commander, engineer commander, though, on our films.
Well, let's keep in mind Janeway before becoming a captain was a science officer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want to say Cisco was he tactical or was he?
He was still wearing a red uniform. It looked like he was the first officer of the Saratoga.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's ever mentioned what his original what his division was at the lower ranks. Being.
No, I don't think it has ever been fleshed out.
Yeah,
I mean,
you hear, maybe in a novel.
Yeah, probably. You hear smatterings of information of what he used to get up to with the old man.
Yeah.
But never actually what he was doing. I think there's an old picture of him where he's looking young and he's wearing the TNG spandex suit from season 1 and 2.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, because
I think I've seen a picture of him like that. I'm not sure if that was for a novel or if it was used on the TV series show. I'm not sure.
I just feel like him helping help designing the Defiant. I would figure he would be either tactical or engineering.
Well, that would make absolute sense. Yeah.
But the only other thing is helping. I think he was Yeah, he was, because he didn't really help to design the Defiant. Really, he helped work on it.
He worked on it, definitely. So he could have still been in command, sort of like commanding a group of engineers.
Yeah, maybe. As I said, it's kind of weird because you've got command, sciences, and engineering per se. Those are kind of the three general, and medical falls under sciences technically.
Right.
But then you, as I was saying, you got your divisions. At least this is how I've always seen it. It might be wrong. I might be 100% on how I look at this, but the departments or not departments, is command, science, and engineering, and then you break into as I said, con, ops, tactical, security. And I mean, tactical and security kind of go hand in hand mostly, but so I don't know.
Yeah. Tactical and security is probably both operations, even though you have different colored shirts sitting in the chair.
Yeah.
They don't have to both be wearing in TNG red shirts, to sit in the chair, or yellow shirts to sit in those chairs.
Well, in season 1, they had red
cross-trained.
Yeah, in season 1 and 2, maybe just 1 of TNG, there were always red shirts in the con and ops of the Enterprise D. But then if you look at it, and then after that, well, then you got Data sitting there who's gold. Right. And then you've got, and you've also got LaForge sitting up there, which, well, he's an engineer, but he was red when he was up there, but then he's gold when he becomes chief engineer. And Worf, when he would sit down there, I don't think it was very often, but he would sit down there sometimes at the con or the con or operations con. He would also be in red. And then he started kind of standing towards the back once Tasha Yar was gone.
Right.
So
he went red, then he went yellow, then he went red again.
Right.
Yeah, he went red when he went into the command. So Steve, I mean, do you have anything else to add about your division or?
Not really. I mean, I play an engineer on TV.
Okay. Zamo, what do you think you would be?
Well, considering I'm the greatest villain in the Star Trek fan film universe is Tucker Limbaugh, aka this entity now that's been taken over by him because he was left behind by Starfleet and now he wants revenge and he's going to kill everyone in Starfleet.
Spoiler alert.
But my character, Tucker Limbaugh, was a science officer. Yeah. But that's really not me personally. I have appreciation for science, engineering as well. I have no desire to be a pilot, even though it seems pretty cool. I'll probably maybe be a communications officer. I like that. I like to communicate. I like to talk to people. I like to do making first contact and breaking new ground and helping with treaties and understanding new civilizations and all of that. That's what it means to be involved in this world, and it really gets your foot in the door. Yeah, that would be for me.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, okay, so now let's go around, and Zam strikes me as the Guinan of the ship. Come tell him your woes, and he'll serve up what's needed. I mean, I could see him as like a mixture between like Quark and Guinan, like very, very wisdom and stoic, but yet getting into shenanigans.
Well, that's the same, because what always fascinated me about the uniform colors, is you had red, yellow, and blue. Those were the main ones, but you also had green. And I only remember Troy wearing the green. And what did that represent? The green color.
Troy. It's still medical.
It's
Troy. Sorry, Deanna Troy. Yeah, Deanna Troy.
I mean, yeah, that's counseling, so it's kind of medical, like health.
Right.
Yeah, she was still the science on the medical side. It was just a difference in fabric and lighting.
I'll say it wasn't even really green though. It was like a blue.
It was like a turquoise
teal
blue.
They had like a turquoise. Yeah, they had like a teal or something like that.
It didn't feel like a regular blue.
DS9.
Right.
Yeah, but you see a very distinct difference when but going back to that episode where Crusher's on her own on the ship. Remember me? She has her friend Dalen Quace come on board, and he's wearing a very distinctively teal-colored uniform, but he's in the same division as Crusher, whose uniform was more blue. It's probably because his uniform was made for that episode, while she was wearing a uniform that was made much, much earlier, and the colors were probably different in the dyes. That's probably all there is to that.
I know they are separate. In more recent years, they've tried to separate science from medical, because they all wore blue back then, and now they're making the medical wear white, which is, I think, the right thing to do personally. Just to define them
in Discovery and Strange New Worlds. Yeah, they wear a lot of white, and even on JJ Universe, they seem to wear white as well.
Well, so a lot of places in the world, though, you associate Green Cross with medical, right?
Well, that's what they did on Orville. They made medical green on Orville.
Right. I mean,
they have more colors. I think they have what? They have blue, red, orange, green, and purple. Well, purple was more Admiralty.
Purple, was the Admiral staff, definitely, yeah. But yeah, they've got green for their medical, and it is a distinctive green. It's not a greeny blue.
Yeah, and then there's orange, which the orange, it seems to be like operations more so. I think
operations.
Right,
yeah,
I think so.
And is
red is I thought red was engineering.
Orange as well.
Yeah. I thought engineering.
Oh no,
was
red is engineering. Yes, red is engineering.
But then
blue is
I think
command.
Yeah, blue is more of a command. Yeah. Anyway, so
I mean, they used the same basic Star Trek colors, but they've just swapped what they mean now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we see what they did.
Yep.
Pretty much everything they did with Orville being an absolute Star Trek ripoff. I mean, but a very good one though.
Yeah, they even had Doug Drexler on staff for the season 3. Was it season 3? The last one? Season 4? I can't remember. I've lost count. Yeah, season 3 was the last one.
Yeah,
he was on staff and visited the set a lot.
There are countless Star Trek actors guest starring. On the shows, and they had Jonathan Frakes direct several episodes as well. So without a doubt,
that's why everybody calls it a Star Trek show.
Yeah,
it's Star Trek in everything but name.
Yep. Well, I mean, because that's what Seth MacFarlane went to Paramount, and they turned down his. I don't know if Orville was the original idea, but he wanted to do like a comedy Star Trek that was kind of along the lines of like Orville. It's like loose comedy. And then Orville came out. Oh, look, now we got Lower Decks, which, don't get me wrong, I love Lower Decks, but I'm like,
sounds familiar.
Babylon 5 DS9 much?
There you go.
And the ironic thing is that Orville, as it progressed, it stopped being a comedy and it took itself seriously.
Right. Season 3 for sure, yes.
Yeah, it definitely still had comedic moments in it, but it felt a lot like TNG, which was straight cut, but would have those comedic moments thrown in.
It's actually really funny. Seth MacFarlane was probably like the least comical. I don't feel like he did much comedy at all during season 3. Like everybody else was comical around him, but I feel like Seth MacFarlane was playing it straight most of the season.
Yeah, straight man.
Yeah. And which is odd because normally he's the one that wants to, be the, the comedy driven guy.
Yeah, I think he was letting everybody else get a bit of the laughs.
I think he realizes, that, it needs to be spread around, and he, and I think honestly the studio was probably pushing for him to be like the front runner of the comedy just because of Family Guy and his notoriety and everything. But when it went to Hulu, probably he was like, look, I don't want to be the main focus all the time. I don't want to be the comedy guy all the time. I actually would rather play this straight. And that's the impression I got from the way that season 3 was written. Anyway, hey, I'm guessing this is V-Man, Vance Major. How you doing? Welcome.
Yeah, you managed to get yourself away from Star Trek Online.
I know.
That is impressive.
I tried that a while ago. It's just not for me.
Yeah. Myself and Cheeto and Adam, we've played countless hours on it in the past. But it gets a bit repetitive and a bit. I was telling Cheeto it's a bit sluggish.
That's what I found. It's just a grind.
Yeah,
go here, shoot that ship, go back, go somewhere else, shoot that ship, go back to space dock, go somewhere else and shoot another ship.
Like, yeah, there's definitely some interesting. There's some interesting storylines in there, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, it is kind of just like for when it came out, which is what 2010. Like we really didn't have much Trek. We had a JJ movie.
Yeah,
and that's
it. It was good for the time.
Yeah,
definitely.
But it's like now we're kind of not desperate for Trek, so it's kind of like okay, like, and plus we've got things in that timeline, like time frame anyway, with Picard and stuff. So, we're not real like, and so that kind of makes all of the stuff that goes on in Star Trek Online almost beta canon just because of that. You know what I mean? So, because post Nemesis, it was kind of like, even and they even integrated the Romulus star explosion into the game. So, but yeah. So V-Man says he was caught up with Constar, the motion picture edits, and got sidetracked. Well, hopefully it's going well, my friend. Thank you for being here with us.
I look forward to seeing it.
So it's time for us to pick everybody else's place that they'd be. So I'll start with Harry. Harry, I would definitely put you in engineering. I think that you've got the mind from when talking to you and seeing how you do things. I think you would be a good engineer.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Zam, I would probably put you at tactical. I think that you would be good at an on the spot decision, and also being able to kind of tell the difference between something, if we all had the training. I'm not saying like I drop you in there right now. Like if we all went to Starfleet Academy, we all had the training. I'd probably put you at tactical. Alexander, you're a little hard. I know you, I think the least out of everybody here, but I was kind of thinking like, maybe put you at the con, because I feel like you're probably pretty good at, you seem like you're really good at assessing a situation. And like with if you're sitting there and you're watching something go down and you need to make a jump call and you need to hear an order that comes out and you go for I think you would do a really good job with something like that, just by knowing what little I know. And I mean, I may get to know you a little bit more over the next, couple of years and be like, oh no, man, that was not right at all. You're waste reclamation for sure.
How did you know that's where I was going to put you, all three of you?
And you're an admiral. Yeah, we know how this goes. You're an admiral and we're waste reclamation.
Yeah. I honestly don't know you well enough to know where I was going to put you, but Cheeto, I'd probably put you in the bar.
That's where I want to be.
That's probably. I was going to say that's probably where you'd want to be.
Be in the. I'll be in the. I'll wear the big hat like Guinan. I'll do it.
Yeah, we'll get you a special one, which is a little bit more vertical and it's got two circular.
Right.
Objects.
Daniel Van says Alexander strikes me as Section 31. He knows too much. Major Rage.
Give him a secret away.
I would, and speaking of Mage Rage, I would definitely put Mage in the sciences. I think Mage, with with all the Starfleet training and everything like that, I think he would do good in the sciences. I don't know which science division, but whatever science division he picked to do, I think I would put him in that one.
Something to do with computer science, I think.
I think so too. Yeah, probably computer science. So,
but yeah,
Mage Rage not able to join us this week, but it's okay, buddy. We miss you.
I do know too much.
That is true.
It annoys me sometimes when someone says something and I'm like, no.
Daniel Van says Mage is Jet Reno of the group. So just a couple other people. Honestly, I would put so with the NerdTube, we've got a conglomerate of like contributors. I don't know if any of you guys know these people, but I would definitely put Ginger in. I was gonna say security, but because he's kind of no nonsense. Or maybe like security more. Like Zam, I would put more in tactical, but like at the tactical station. But Ginger, I would more put in the day-to-day.
Security or weapons?
Security.
So you put Zam in charge of the ship's weapons.
Yes, I would put Zam in charge of the ship's weapons. I would put Ginger in charge of the like security staff. And I know that's, again, I know in normal Trek it's like whoever's chief tactical, but
he's made the right choice. But you don't want an American in charge of the weaponry.
True. Putting two Brits in charge of my weapons on and off the ship is a great idea.
Yeah. Shoot first, questions later.
Right?
You've seen me playing with my phaser, haven't you?
I don't know where I'd put D Jose. Maybe like medical, or maybe medical. Maybe
Jose would be communications.
Yeah, maybe communications. He knows how to. I'd have him talk like to all the Klingons. I'd have him talk like Vince McMahon to all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know something, brother? We're hailing you and you're not answering. I'm gonna have Zam open fire on your ass. I don't know who else. I mean, I would say Leah would probably be medical, maybe.
Medical, I was thinking that too. Space vet.
Yeah, definitely. Who else am I missing? I don't know. Anybody else? Not out of our normal.
We got Christine.
I don't know her well enough. I mean, I would.
I'd make her security.
You would make her your security?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ex-military.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. You don't have a science officer.
Yeah, I do. Mage.
Who is it? Oh, okay.
I mean, I agree with you. He could do like computer science.
What about Boss Man?
Oh, Boss Man. I'd put him in charge of the gym. So medical?
I'd make Boss Man the pilot.
Really? I don't know if I do that.
I was thinking of engineer, so security as well, but I guess we can have more than one security officer, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can have a whole team of them, depending on the size of the ship.
Yeah.
Until they beam down.
Yeah, then you usually
you only send the most important people on that away mission,
and you lose
Block.
I would probably put Block in legal because he's got a degree in law.
Likes to remind us of that.
Yep.
If he's got a degree in law, he should be in the JAG division. But that's really not something on a ship.
I don't know, but he's also kind of goofy, and he's got a lot of good ideas. So I mean, I would probably put him in engineering, maybe. Like he's got a lot. He has an interesting way of going about things, and I think that if he had all the Starfleet training, I think that he would. If he had all the Starfleet training, I feel like he would actually make a pretty good out of the box or not out of the box, but like thinking outside the box engineer. He kind of looks like Barkley too. So I mean,
Mr. Broccoli.
Yeah, Mr. Broccoli. What color uniform would you like to see them use? Oh,
transparent.
Pink. No, I don't want to see all you guys in transparent uniforms. Screw that.
Thank you. Nope.
No, I didn't. I don't want to see that either. I close my eyes when I shower.
What was the one? I know we're talking about Orville too much, but like, what's that one episode of Orville where the one guy who either I think he goes around naked or something like that, like
Is it Gordo?
I have no idea, but there was an episode when it was where the first officer had to go and like talk to him. No, it wasn't Bortus. The alien wasn't like a main character, but he was in like the engineering area naked because that's how his race does it the first Sunday of every month or something weird.
I remember that. I remember. I can't remember the name.
Bortus's daughter. Boris's daughter, I think, was following. What was her name? What's the first officer's name? Kelly, right?
Kelly, yeah.
Kelly around, just kind of like getting a feel for like the commands or whatever, like a shadowing program or something for.
Yeah, I remember. I just can't remember the names.
I don't remember.
That naked officer eventually
put pants on.
Yeah. He had to come to some sort of compromise, didn't he? Because he can't be running around naked and shit like that, regardless of his beliefs.
Yep.
He's working in an organization which has a different cultural beliefs, and that's why I always find it seems like Starfleet and even Orville a little bit funny because they'll bend over backwards for people to follow, to make sure that they follow other people's traditions. But when it comes to their own, you know what, you can stick to your beliefs still, regardless of our traditions and culture and stuff like that, which is funny.
Yep.
Knights, I love this show. Thank you very much.
Huh?
Polar Knight says he does. He's one of the few people we have on Twitch. Polar Knights.
Ooh.
Yeah, come join if you want to. Come join us over on YouTube. You can subscribe, and we do a lot of other content on YouTube as well. But we love having you here, even if you're on Twitch.
Yeah, I'll post it on YouTube.
It's the perfect evolution of beard growth.
Yeah.
So wait. So we got Alex, who's 1. He's 1. I'm probably 2.
No, I think I'm 2, but I shaved recently.
So you're 2. I would probably be 3, and then Steve would probably be 4. Like,
you just can't see it because I'm so pale, but I have a white beard.
Live long and prosper, Polar Knights.
This is day 2 without shaving.
Day 2.
I do not grow.
What the hell? Enlarge him.
It'll take about 3-4 days before you can see my stubble.
Here, hold on. Okay, I don't see any.
Jack.
I've got my dad's follicle challenged.
So no, he
wasn't follically challenged up here though.
You cannot be the first officer then. You can't grow a beard. I mean, you gotta be able to grow a beard to be a first officer.
I can stick one on.
There you go.
Okay.
The Blackbeard one, right? I mean, hey, there's a dress shop around the alleyway, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A fancy dress.
Every ship's got a barber.
That's right. We'll just paint you. We'll paint you blue, and then you can be the Bolian barber.
There you go.
Okay. So
I would like if I could put you guys into particular positions, like I would make Steve the science officer personally. He seems like he I know engineering and science can be quite similar in places, but I'm going with the science because I think he's a wise fox. He knows he knows things, able to pick up on things and stuff like that. Yeah, well, to a degree, but Hammer was more of an engineer still.
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't want to come across as rude, but you have a historian, vibe about you, and I think that works better for science.
That's interesting because I did teach a while, So
yeah,
thank you.
No problem. So that's why I associate that with you with science. Cheeto, I would make you the pilot. You got a gung ho mentality at times, very chipper, very Ace McCloud type person, pilot vibe. Yeah.
All right, we're crashing the ship, baby.
Yeah. Alex, I'll make you communications.
Communications. Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
I'll make you communications. From what I've got to know of you recently, I think you seem like somebody who has that geek knowledge, which I think would come in very handy for communications, if need be, when it comes to talking to other types of cultures and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I would make you guys, personally. It's funny, when we watch each other on fan films, everybody's playing a fucking captain or an admiral or something like that. Why don't you guys ever play a fucking cadet or an ensign? You know what I mean? You narcissistic motherfuckers. Why do you always have to play?
I would not make myself if I made a fan film, I would not make myself a captain in a million years. I would, as I said, I would probably put myself either in engineering or operations.
Why are you Captain Summers?
Well, yeah, but I was cast in that. I did not make myself that.
I think I'm the only one here that hasn't actually been in a fan film.
I mean, technically, I have not debuted in a fan film yet. I've only.
It'll be Thanksgiving, hopefully Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. So
Holiday
I've
Hours
not actually debuted
2267. 20, it's a Holiday Hours 2267 by Harris Films.
Yep, Harris Films, link is in the description. So you can go down there and subscribe to them and see my fan film debut. By the way, my performance is not reflective on Harris Films, quality. Please do not equate my performance with Harris Films quality, because I'm not a good actor.
We're all our own worst critic, okay? So you did fine, okay?
No.
We're not going to win any Oscars. We're not going to win any great awards, but hey, we're having fun, right? We're having fun. We're trying to present something that's watchable, enjoyable, and higher quality than the average, person just shooting on video. You got backgrounds, and then you got backgrounds. You got special effects, and you got Ken May's special effects. So there's a difference, and we're trying to make that difference. So
yeah,
I appreciate that you've joined the team.
Difference is good. Polar Knights has just finished watching Deep Space Nine for the 100th time, and the only show I think where we learn so much about all other races.
Actually last night on Axonar, we were just talking about how why Deep Space Nine is like the best Trek episode. It's so diverse. It gives all the other side characters time to shine, and still does not disservice any of the main characters. On top of that, in season 4, they added another main character, like Worf. So it's like how they did all that and still made like Nog, Garrick, Lita, Rom. I mean, Quark's a main character.
They all had their moments.
All of them. And it's like, Deep Space Nine is by far, in my opinion, the best Star Trek ever. And it's going to take a massive undertaking by somebody to actually dethrone it.
I'll give you that regarding Deep Space Nine, because you've got your main cast of your main roster cast, but there are so many additional members in DS9, like, obviously Quark's extended family, Rom and Nog. You got Jake Sisko as well. Yeah. You got Garrick, and you've got so many, Gul Dukat and all of these other characters who just keep returning all the time. Like they are all like significant characters.
Zam, you'd be my Gul Dukat. I'd be the one. Or I'd be your Gul Dukat.
What kind of a pickup line is that?
No, my favorite pickup line is, "Hey, does this napkin smell like chloroform?"
Oh no.
Oh God! All right, let's move on very quickly. If you're all our captains, I'm going full marquee. You're damn right, mate.
Yeah,
me too.
I will change. Vansington, I will chase you to the ends of the earth. I will destroy.
Oh, here we go.
I will biologically destroy planets to bring you in because you betrayed your uniform.
Okay, Cisco, calm down.
I highly suggest you check it out. I've seen the sneak peek cut. Cheetah knocks it out of the park.
Yeah,
holiday hours.
I paid him to say that.
I believe that.
Anyone else, Sam? You wanna bring up that you would do? Like any of our peeps that people may know.
Well, I mean, like the people we do know. I mean, all right. Let's just get some of the people from Avalon and all of that.
Oh yeah, I was about to say we can go out extended too.
I'll make them all villains, all of them. You know what I mean? I'll turn them all into Klingons. I mean, look at Josh. He should be a Klingon. Definitely Vance as well.
Oh yeah. I think Vance should be. I don't know. Vance has got this. I think he could make a good Romulan, maybe.
I'll tell you who can make a good Ferengi. Go on, guess.
Oh,
Frank.
Frank.
Really?
Frank would make it. Yeah, I think Frank will make a terrific Ferengi. And so will what's his name, Jim Landscape as well. I think he can make.
He's got the mask.
Too. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know what? You wanted Harry Mudd. You wanted Harry Mudd. He might have been the ideal one. If you could keep his shit together, he would have been a great Harry Mudd. Tyler, he would be. I don't know, he'd be like that dashing rogue guy who impregnates girls and runs away and lets their families fight amongst each other, and all that sort of shit. That's him.
TNG episode.
Yeah, that TNG episode, and that
he was an alien.
That Prodigy episode as well.
What's his name?
Oshana.
Oh yeah.
Okana or something like that.
Ohana.
Obama. I don't
know. Okay, we're getting. But skin tone's getting too dark for that one. Okay.
All right. Seriously, regarding Tyler, I would want him to be a bad guy for sure. I'd make him a Romulan.
I can see that.
I think. Yeah.
Can you imagine him? I would make Vance Vance a Romulan. I put those two together. I think they would make a great like in the TNG episode where they first show up. There's like two captains on the Romulan ship. It's like could you imagine turning on your view screen and there being Vance as a Romulan and Tyler as a Romulan sitting there on the desk or in the chairs on the bridge? I'd shit myself.
I can, me too, actually. But yeah, just all those guys, because they all like playing. I'm Captain so and so from fucking Starfleet, this, that, and the other. Well, fuck you. In my world, you're the bad guy, and you'll be lucky to last one fucking episode before you get blown.
It's a bit mean. I mean, either that or V-Man should be a Q. I mean, come on, like the guy's a freaking. He's in everything. He's everywhere. He's a Stanley of fan film.
No. I'll tell you who should be Q. The guy who his name escapes me now, but the one we thought wore a wig but didn't. We always thought he wore a toupee. He was the one who did the Yellow Brick, the Wizard of Oz Star Trek crossover fan film we reviewed. Remember?
I don't know who you're talking about. I think I remember the fan film. I don't know. I don't remember the name.
Me neither. I can't remember the name of the fan film, but the actor from that, we always thought that he wore a toupee, and then we asked Vance about it, and he told us no, that's his real hair. It's not a toupee. I thought
Jose Capeta,
possibly. I think he's Latin American. He would be a great Q.
Okay.
Jose would make a great Q.
Yeah. And I want him to be
Vance more of a Klingon though. Vance just
Vance is for sure. Because that's the alternative universe I want. I want these guys, all these Starfleet guys, to be Starfleet villains.
I think he's too subtle to be a Klingon. Like when he's in full when he's like in full Phantom mode, like he's very subtle. So I feel like he'd be more of like this cocky but subtle Romulan bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, great.
Oh, I want to look. He's an actor, regardless of it being fan films. Show us your acting chops, mate. Give us a fucking Klingon performance. You're a fucking Star Trek fan. Be Klingon on this particular occasion. You know what I mean?
Zam, you would be my Klingon security officer, or not Klingon security, Klingon communications officer.
Well, my character of Tucker Limbaugh does go a bit mental at times, so that's a possibility. You know, I can do the crazy, you know, if I have to. What we got here from Polar Nights?
You're not immortal anymore. Oh, go ahead.
You're not immortal anymore. On what part of the Kardashev scale you think his race is on?
I'm guessing that is more on like a sentience level. I can look it up.
I have no idea, mate. As we say in the UK or in London, to be more precise, I ain't got a Scooby.
It probably is something to do with.
What makes you say the Q aren't immortal anymore? That I want to know.
When they had that Civil War.
The what now?
Right.
The Civil. Oh yeah. Well, nothing. They were always able to die, as long as they went mortal. They had to switch to mortal to die.
Yeah, but Q wasn't mortal when he died. It's a scale to rate civilization, like galactic civilizations. So type 1 civilization can access all energy available on its planet and stores it for consumption. Hypothetically, it should also be able to control natural events such as earthquakes, volcanoes, eruptions. And hey, maybe we're on our way. We can control hurricanes now. So
yeah.
Well, right.
That's where I thought he was going. Yeah,
he was dying. He wasn't getting old. He was dying.
Watch season 3.
And also season 2, Q aged himself up. It's not that he was getting old.
Yeah,
he aged himself up because he was matching Picard.
You saw how old Picard was. It says, "Oh, you're older than I imagined," and then instantly aged himself, which I thought was absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah, I love that. I thought that needed to happen. That was the one thing I wanted to see with Q coming back, where it's like they can't just make him show up older and be like,
"No,
it was
I'm
perfect de-aging."
Yeah.
The DHQ, even though it was very brief, it looked fucking fantastic.
It was.
It
was much better than Picard and Data in one of the flashback scenes when they're in the field. There's a guy that's actually on YouTube that's actually gone back and redid that scene, and it's much better.
They really? Who did? Paramount?
I can't remember who it was. But I've seen it. You'll see it kicking around Facebook every so often. That he's gone and deep faked their faces to a much younger version of themselves. He's also gone and fixed the uniforms, because in the TNG uniforms they're supposed to have a nice rounded edge to the shoulder, not this Romulan hard cut, which they had. I mean, they had They could have just phoned Robert Blackman and say, "Could you make us 2 uniforms, please?" No, they had some China shop do it, which just didn't do it right.
Yeah,
and he's actually fixed that, and he's actually de-aged them perfectly. It was really good. But I'm sure he had all the time in the world to do it. Whereas in a production, you have a schedule to keep and probably a budget as well, which is probably never enough.
Yeah,
I just want to quickly comment here regarding this. It was good to see the Q or he wasn't a dick anymore regarding John Delaney's Q. But in my opinion, I think Q started to change for the better after he had a stint being a human in that episode of TNG.
Absolutely.
And once he finally understood what it means to be human in various ways, pain, hunger, and all the other things that goes with it. Mortality even. And so I felt that was his change to being a better person.
Polar Man says, I am sorry for cussing. Not my intention to teach the British a new cuss word.
No. The Brits.
What did he say?
We Brits invented the cuss.
I was about to say, you guys are light years ahead of us. Like over here in America, the C word is still a bad word. Like I'm like,
the further north you go in Britain, the more it becomes just as ubiquitous as the comma.
Yeah. So anyway, just to finish up, so about that scale, Type 2 civilization. Why am I yawning? Civilization.
You're gonna make me yawn. Stop
I know. I don't know why I'm doing it. Civilization can directly consume a star's energy, most likely through the use of a Dyson sphere. So we are not Type 2 yet. We are still Type 1 diabetes. And Type 3, civilization is able to capture all the energy emitted in its galaxy and every object within it, such as every star, black hole, and etc. So is that kind of like species 10C? Kind of like, I mean, they use a galactic lawnmower, but
the Q are omnipotent. They can do anything and everything whenever they want. So they're the highest scale, if you ask me.
I think they're beyond that scale. Like because they're not.
They're so far beyond. They're so far beyond that scale. Is just it's not even. It's meaningless to them.
Yeah.
Which is why I like that episode of Voyager when that Q wanted to die, because there was nothing worth living for. He had seen everything done.
He'd been there, done. Yeah, he'd been there, done. Yeah. I loved that episode, actually. That was a really good Voyager episode.
It really made me understand his plight. Yeah.
Alex reminds me of Ming the Merciless, arch enemy of Flash Gordon in a Star Trek outfit.
Yeah, I don't have the. I don't have the. It's the Van Dyke.
Yeah, we've already established facial hair is not Alex's best friend. I mean,
Clytus, I'm bored.
So, Alex, Terry, you guys have any ideas on any people? Alex, where would you put Alec? Would you put him in command, or would you maybe put him somewhere else?
He is a freaking nightmare to work with.
He's a villain, dude.
He's a freaking nightmare to work with. He's my Q.
no. Alec is Roddy McDowell from Star Trek Star Trek Generations.
Time is a fire in which we burn.
Yeah, he's an Elorian. Yeah, no.
I thought.
Is it Kazon? No.
Yeah, he's Elorian.
No.
Yeah, no. Elorians are usually good listeners. Alec, I'll present him a design which is exactly as he's asked, and he went, "No, I don't like that." So I'll go and reiterate, and he'll come back. "No, I don't like that." I'll go and reiterate, and then eventually, after about 6 weeks, we go back to the original design that I gave him. Yeah, we'll go with that. So yeah, he is a nightmare. What is it? I said to him in a chat, "You're no fun," and he went, "No, I'm a fucking nightmare. Ask Crystal."
I can see. Listen, I have no bones about it. Sometimes I'm a nightmare to work with. Like ask Harry. I am a nightmare to work with, and that's Zam for sure. Zam knows over the past couple years when I dig my feet in the ground on something, it gets kind of.
But I have a respect for him. He gets shit done. I mean, he works very hard. So
he does so much. He needs to tear himself into several pieces just to keep up.
I'm talking about Cheetah here. He works very.
Alec works very hard as well. He's forever telling you to do something, and then you go and do it, and then you send it to him, and he's like, "What's that?" Well, you asked me to go and do that, so I went and did that. All right.
Cool.
All right. Cool.
What about Jefferson?
I would probably put him in operations. I think he likes to organize things, like
Marquis for me.
Marquis.
He would be the first officer operations, because the first officer runs the ship. The captain is in command, but the first officer is the one that actually runs the ship. He's the dude, and that would be Jefferson, I think.
See, once again, he has to play. He has to play an antagonist of some capacity. But I'm going to be fair on him and make him a marquee because there is a chance for him to be redeemed. You know, so
well, he already plays a Cisco figure, so you can just play a mirror of his Cisco figure in the mirror universe, and they're kind of marquee.
Yeah,
the Resistance. So that tracks.
Yeah, I would have Jefferson the XO actually.
I place Alex as the captain only if he knows the Picard maneuver. Oh God!
There you go. There it is, right there.
Most overrated maneuver of all time.
My TNG top that I was thinking of wearing tonight, it actually rides up, and I actually have to do the Picard maneuver all the time. Not so much in this thing.
I tried to do the Riker maneuver, but I'd probably like strain my groin or something doing that.
Hurt the chair.
Speaking of which, if you ever find yourself in Atlanta for DragonCon, attend the Infinite Riker games.
Oh, I've heard about them.
They are hilarious. And Paula Knights said earlier, he says I'm like a younger Picard. Last year when I was at DragonCon, I was running around in my TNG top with Commander Pips. Everybody must have thought I was trying to cosplay as Picard because everybody, when they went past me, they went Captain. And I grew tired of correcting them, saying, no, there's 3 pips on my collar. I just went and put a 4th pip on and I just ran with it. Went to the Infinite Riker games, and someone commented, "Oh, we've got a face palming Picard in the front row," and that was me. Because I was face palming at some of the stuff that was going on. I'm like, oh,
beautiful,
classic Picard as well. Oh yeah.
So yeah.
So Zam's got a whole bunch of villains in his universe.
Yeah, he seems to make everybody villains. Are you the only good guy in your universe?
No, us four only, and maybe a few handful of people from NerdTube. But everyone in the Avalon and the Constar and the Phil Ferrick, No Budget Productions, all those people, even people extended from your contingent as well, Steve. All of them, and people from Axonar, all of them villains. All of them.
Mirror universe.
I think Royce should be like the main villain of like all of them put together.
He's the smallest.
Royce is the Emperor.
Youngest,
yeah, Roy. Yeah.
Yep. The Emperor. Nice. Yes, I like that
idea. Something dark side of the Federation.
A little bit squeakier.
Because I'm still waiting, and I've told because Vance, he's really into DC comics and stuff like that, especially Batman and Robin and all of that. And I've told him many times that I when I first got to know Josh, I took the piss out of him and called him he said that he looks like Lex Luthor from Superman's villain, but Lex Luthor will also be the Batman villain as well. And so do that. He's
actually more of a Bruce Wayne villain because they more go at it in a corporate level.
Yeah. They do. Yeah, exactly. And so
Superman owns Lex Luthor in superhero supervillain, but in the Battle of the Billionaires, Bruce Wayne owns Lex Luthor, or vice versa. It depends.
And I want to see, something along those lines. And that's why I've got this, this mindset of like turning them all villains. But it started off with Josh initially, but yeah. Like I said, they play good guys. They play Starfleet. So in my universe, they're not going to be that. I refuse.
I get not making them. Obviously, you can't have 15 captains running around. Make it a little crowded on the bridge. But
that's one main concern about fan films is everybody wants to play, but they all want to be captain.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be captain.
No.
That's why immediately when I got involved in it, I said to them, I have to be the villain. I have to be the villain because everyone's doing the same shit, and I don't want to be involved in that. There's none of you guys are recurring bad guys. I want to be the recurring bad guy.
Plus, in film and TV industry, it's the people with the English accents that are the villains.
That's right.
Yeah,
quite often.
So your accent fits the bill. Yeah.
Because it's funny as well because Vance Mirror Universe character of Eric Menard is, in my opinion, the best character in Star Trek fan films. He does it so brilliantly playing evil Menard, Mirror Universe Menard. I love that character. It's my favorite character because it's the most different of all the characters in that universe. Everyone else is pretty much quite generically the same. They're all fucking Starfleet captains or whatever, and they're all fucking trying to do the most righteous thing, and they're all high-fiving and being good to each other. And then there's evil Eric Menard from the Mirror Universe, throwing a wrench in things, fucking things up. I love it. I wonder
who did it first. I wonder if Kurtzman did it first with Lorca, or if Menard did, or if V-Man did it first with Mirror Menard.
I'm pretty sure V-Man did it first.
Did he? Okay,
we were having this conversation before. He comes up with these ideas, he puts them online.
Where do you think Kurtzman got the idea?
That's what I'm saying.
True. That's probably true.
This is why I got so upset when they made Lurker out to be a guy from the Terran universe, because in my personal opinion, having a captain who is very different to all the other captains we've seen in Star Trek would make that show ideal. Having a shoot first, ask questions later type captain, something really different, goes against the grain, because this is the captain they needed, obviously in season 1 when they were having the war against the Klingons, and it felt relevant then. I mean, maybe we could have had an arc with this particular captain. Maybe he learned to soften up as we go along through previous seasons, but no, all of that shit got thrown straight in the bin, and they had to give us this stupid twist of him being a Terran fucking.
I actually love that twist. I thought it
ruined it for me.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and they were giving us the clues all the way from day one with the eye drops.
Yep. Yeah. I agree, but I just wanted
was that established beforehand though? The eye drops thing, like not the eye drops, but like the issue with the eyes.
The lighting.
Yeah, it was because the mirror universe is darker. It's not as brightly lit because it's a dark universe,
Well, I mean, I guess he would go. Lorca would go blind if he went over to the JJ verse.
Well,
yeah.
Polar Knights, as I've always said to every American I've spoken to, that it was not an American Revolutionary War; it was a British Civil War on American soil. And one thing they took away from defeating the Crown, the separatists, so to speak, is the language. They never gave that shit up because everyone in America speaks English. So yeah.
Yes, we all sound the same.
And it can also be argued that they didn't win it on their own. The French had
the French helped us out.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
I love telling people that it's the British Civil War. That
Oh, I'm sure that makes.
They're like, what are you talking about? What war was that? I'm like, the Revolutionary War. What?
Get more than one people going.
Yeah. They throw their MAGA hats on and they're like, now listen here.
I was about to say, especially if they're wearing a MAGA hat, I'm sure they would not take kindly to you calling it a civil war.
Yeah, I know. I'll probably be experiencing their Second Amendment rights as I said it. You shouldn't have text RT. That was the last straw. Yeah.
Taxing our goddamn tea.
No, talk.
That's one thing I find absolutely hilarious. They complain about taxes, but they've got the US tax system is some of the most penalizing taxes ever. You get taxed on everything when we get taxed on everything, but you get taxed at a higher rate, and you get nothing for it.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, when like. In gambling, like if you go to the casino and then you win money in the casino and you cash out, they tax you.
They tax you.
They tax your fucking winnings.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. This is not me earning anything. This is me gambling. How the fuck are you taxing my fucking winnings?
USA.
Ridiculous.
They've got to pay for the military-industrial complex somehow.
Yeah. No wonder you guys go on it, because I'm okay with taxes because I believe we pay into society and make the world our country a better place. But no wonder you guys go crazy about it at times, because you fucking pay taxes on everything. Adam said.
And at least you guys pay when you guys pay taxes, you guys when you guys pay taxes, you guys actually get healthcare out of it, at least for now.
Yeah, we've got healthcare. We've got the road system, such as it is.
We get,
and if we get made redundant, we'll get a guaranteed amount of money in our account every week to help us live,
rebuild our lives. Yeah,
whereas in America, you lose your job if you don't have savings. In some places, you're screwed.
Well, Polar Knights, I'm glad you said that because we're actually wrapping it up. Thank you, God, we can drift away from the world of fantasy of Star Trek. That's what this podcast is about.
Absolutely.
I mean, we talk about, here on NerdTube, we talk about all different things throughout, there's it's not just Star Trek on this channel, but that's what this podcast is about.
It's about this as well.
There's no script.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Yes, Boba
Fett.
One of the worst. The worst of the Star Wars TV series, the Boba Fett series.
Oh, it was awful.
It was awful.
It was so slow. And however, I can no longer claim Boba Fett was a useless bitch, because in the original films he does nothing like he sets out to do, and his sole job is to catch Solo, and Vader has to do that himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then he dies like a bitch, screaming like a bitch.
Well, he did catch Solo because he followed Solo. It was him who.
Yeah, he followed him, but he didn't actually catch him. It was Vader that caught him.
Yeah, no, I agree, but he still required. If he didn't follow him, then Vader might not have caught him.
No, Vader had a master plan. He knew what he was doing. But I wasn't finished. He redeemed himself in The Mandalorian. He was kick-ass when he pitched up looking for his armor.
He was actually really good in The Mandalorian, and right up to the very end of The Mandalorian, where he kills the Bob Fortuna, Fortuna, and he kills him. Who he takes over from Jabba, and he kills him, and then he takes over from him and becomes the new Lord. And that was really cool, but it made me, he looked like a gangster. He looked ruthless. This is the Boba Fett we know.
He wasn't taking over as like the kingpin. He was taking over as like the mayor. Like he became like the mayor, not a gangster like Jabba was. So
exactly. But then we got the Book of Boba Fett, and it was crap.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah. I can count on. I think what was his name, Chrysanthemum, or what the
Black Chrysanthemum. Yeah, he was quality.
Yeah,
an evil Wookiee, and a bad guy Wookiee. I like that. I like that a lot.
Weakest part of that though was the Quadrophenia teams.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there was nothing remotely
American Graffiti.
Yeah, there was nothing remotely dangerous about them.
Cyberpunk kids.
That chase through the town at about 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Polar Knight says, "I love sci-fi like the movie where those hobbits that travel in the Stargate looking for the ring to unite the planet of Hogwarts against the evil Jedi on the Battlestar."
Yeah, I think you've just about got all of them in there.
If only Boba Fett wasn't constrained by no disintegrations. Vader holding him back. That's right. All right, guys. Enough. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. We've hit the hour mark. Everybody, thank you very much for joining us here. Zam, Harry, Alex, thank you guys so much for being here. Polar Knights says just one more. Sweet Jesus, you guys seen the emergency broadcast from the White House? It is a life-changing moment for the human race. It is unbelievable.
You going to war with Iran? Please don't tell me you're doing that. Please.
Do what?
I hope it's not that.
We haven't seen it.
Oh God, because you.
Okay. Anyway, so with that all being said, everybody, thank you very much for joining us here. Okay.
And on that bombshell.
Oh God, damn. He caught me out there. It's not even April fucking Fools, man. But yeah, you got me.
So with all that being said, everybody, thank you very much for joining us here. There is a link below for Harry's YouTube channel where you can see his content and his fan films over there. I know that they do podcast. You guys do some kind of podcast, right?
Right.
And you do and you guys obviously do fan
movies,
films.
right?
Yep.
And Holiday Hours 2267 has 3 NerdTube guys in it. So I'll just say that much right now, and that'll be out on Thanksgiving Day.
Can't
Looking
wait.
forward to it.
Alexander, I work with him over on the Axonar podcast that we do simulcast here on this channel. But it's always a pleasure to work with you again. And Zamo, my compatriot in arms. Do we have anything coming up? I know we are in the middle of horror month. Huh?
I'm reviewing the Tulsa King, which I highly recommend people watch if you like your gangsters. And right now I feel like October is not only a horror month, it's gangster month as well. And there's some really good gangster shows, not just the Tulsa King. There's the Penguin as well. Highly recommend you watch that. And I've just started watching Gangs of London, which has Cole Meany in it. Really? So that means you guys have to watch it. Yeah. And so I just, it's outside of the science fiction and comic book genres. The gangster genre is without that my favorite genre. I love it. I absolutely adore it. So those are the shows I recommend watching, and Tulsa King is what we'll be reviewing, as well as obviously the Penguin when it does finally finish its season. We'll do a season review of that as well here on the tube.
Yep,
Tulsa King. That's the Sly Stallone series, isn't it?
Yeah, season 1's already out, and season 2 is halfway through.
Also here on NerdTube, me and Major Rage, we're going to be trying to do weekly reviews of Dragon Ball Daima, which is the new Dragon Ball show coming out this week. So we're going to give a stab at that. We do Dragon Ball content every now and then here on the channel. We finally got a new show coming out, so we're going to finally be able to weekly review it. So we're going to do the best we can on that one. And in 2 weeks, Lower Decks, the final season returns. So we will be taking a break from the Highly Illogical podcast, and we will on Thursday nights be doing our typical Trek review nights.
Excellent. So can't wait for Lower Decks.
I know.
I will try and keep up to date with that.
We love Lower Decks. It's a great show. So, and we'd love to have you guys here if you if you guys have a chance to watch it.
I watch it. I don't find it anywhere near as hilarious as most people seem to, but I enjoy it. I like the lore.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice for all the nods.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely know.
It has heart. I think people don't overlook the heart.
I think I enjoy it. I don't think I laugh a ton during the show. I enjoy the heart that's put into it. It's kind of like Orville. Like you can tell Orville has this love for Star Trek in it, and that's why it's like I love Orville, even though it's not Trek, is because it has this love for Star Trek. So I agree.
I can appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate all the little details that they put in. That little throwaway line or that little thing that you see floating in the background. You're like, I totally know what that is.
Yeah,
love it.
All right, everybody. Well, this is NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you kind of maybe sort of heard of. We will catch you guys in the next one. Live long and prosper. Bye-bye. I can't do it on this hand.